In essence, Act Like a Lady, Think Like a Man is a playbook of sorts. You remember how a few years back, the New England Patriots got accused of one of the biggest cheating scandals in NFL history. NFL investigators found out that the team had been secretly videotaping practices and reading mouths to figure out the plays of their opposing teams, a practice that gave them a distinct advantage over their rivals. For sure, the Patriots' dirty ways were almost as advantageous to the New England team as if they were reading the opposition's playbook. With the advantage, the Patriots were able to win games. This is what I wish for the women who read Act Like a Lady, Think Like a Man. I want every woman who truly wants a solid relationship but just can't figure out how to get one, and those who are already in a relationship and trying to figure out how to make it better, to forget everything she has ever been taught about men. It is the myths, the heresy, everything your mother told you, everything your girlfriends told you, all the advice you have read in magazines and seen on television, and find out here in these pages who men really are. What men count on is that you will continue to get your advice from one woman who do not know our tactics or mindset. Act like a lady, think like a man is going to change this for you. If you are dating and you want to find out how to take it to another level, this book is for you. If you are in a committed relationship and you want to get the ring, this book is for you. If you are married and you want to regain control and strengthen your bond, or if you are tired of being played with, then I want you to use this book as a tool to take each of the principles, rules, and tips in this no nonsense guide and use them to anticipate a man's game plan and to counter with an offense and defense that's unstoppable. Because trust me, the playbook you all have been using is outdated and the plays don't work. In fact, the biggest play you have in your arsenal, the one where you walk into a relationship thinking you are going to change your man, is the worst and most doomed play of them all. Why? Because no matter what other women are shouting from the covers of magazines, on the television talk shows, during your girlfriend getaway bonding trips, and on blogs from here to Timbuktu, there are basic things in men that are never going to change. No matter how good you are to a man, no matter how good you are for him, until you understand what his makeup is, what drives him, what motivates him, and how he loves, you will be vulnerable to his deception and the games he plays. But with this book, you can get into a man's mindset and understand him better so that you can put into play your plans, your dreams, and your desires, and best of all, you can figure out if he is planning to be with you or just playing with you. So, act like a lady and think like a man. What drives men? There is no true statement. Men are simple. Get this into your head first, and everything you learn about us in this book will begin to fall into place. Once you get that down, you will have to understand a few essential truths. Men are driven by who they are, what they do, and how much they make. No matter if a man is a CEO or CON or both. Everything he does is filtered through his title. Who he is, how he gets that title, what he does, and the reward he gets for the effort, how much he makes. These three things make up the basic DNA of manhood. The three accomplishments every man must achieve before he feels like he has truly fulfilled his destiny as a man. And until he has achieved his goal in those three areas, the man you are dating, committed to, or married to will be too busy to focus on you. Think about it. From the moment a boy is born, the first thing everyone around him starts doing is telling him what he must do to be a real man. He is taught to be tough, to wrestle, climb, get up without crying, not let anyone push him around. He is taught to work hard, to do chores around the house, get the groceries out of the car, take out the trash, shovel the snow, cut the grass, and as soon as he is old enough, get a job. He is taught to protect, to watch out for his mother and his younger siblings, to watch over the house and the family's property. And he is especially encouraged to uphold his family name, make something of himself so that when he walks in a room, everybody is clear about who he is, what he does, and how much he makes. Each of these things is taught in preparation for one thing: manhood. The pursuit of manhood doesn't change once a boy is grown. In fact, it's only magnified. His focus has always been on, and will remain on, who he is, what he does, and how much he makes until he feels like he has achieved his mission. And until a man does these things, women only fit into the cracks of his life. He is not thinking about settling down, having children, or building a home with anyone until he has got all three of those things in sync. I am not saying that he has had to have made it, but at least he has to be on track to making it. This is certainly how it worked for me. I will never forget how disappointed, frustrated, and unhappy I was when, in my early 20s, I was laid off from the Ford Motor Company. I was already a college dropout, and now, without a job, I hardly had enough money to take care of myself, much less a family. This left me unsure of my future, what I was going to do, how much I was going to make, and what my title would be. The titles, college graduate and Ford inspector, were gone. Having no job pretty much meant that my chances of bringing home a good paycheck were zero. I hadn't a clue how I was going to make money. It took me a while to find my footing. I dabbled in various jobs. I owned a carpet cleaning business. I sold carpet. I sold Amway products, the Dick Gregory Bahamian diet, and ALW insurance and Commonwealth insurance. It was madness what I was going to try to get my life together. Finding someone serious to settle down with was the absolute last thing on my mind. Then one night, a woman for whom I used to write jokes encouraged me to go to a local comedy club and sign up for amateur night. See, I knew I was funny and I made a few dollars, very few dollars, writing material for up and coming local comedians who were trying to find their way into the industry. But I hadn't a clue, really, how to go about getting into the business for myself. Still, this woman saw something in me and told me to take the stage. So I did, and I killed. I won $50, which today may not seem like a lot of money, but when I was broke at that time, it felt like $5,000 for telling jokes. I also was guaranteed another $50 if, as the winner, I opened the following week's amateur night competition. The next day, I went to a printer and spent $15 of my winnings on business cards that, along with my phone number, read Steve Harvey, comedian. They were flat and flimsy and didn't have any raised lettering. But those business cards announced that I was Steve Harvey, who I am, and that I had a special talent in comedy, what I do. How much I was going to make remained to be seen, but at least I had the who I am and the what I do lined up.